So, I guess like the backstory that I shared with you a long time ago was this was the temple where kind of the town was split in two when I was born. So
Mm-hmm.
like that's the town changed its name to Qantas after that. It's kind of a
Okay.
holy site of Quantarius. So it's like a giant temple with a huge structure of him in front of it. So I'm like standing in the room um, after everyone leaves, and the door kind of shuts behind me.
Okay.
And I take off like all my weapons and put it on the like a table or on the bench in front of me. And I kind of look up towards the giant structure. I'm like, Quantarius, I was brought into this world, and death surrounded me. This entire city was split in two, and many lost their lives. People have died around me my entire life. And I kind of look once again towards the top of the statue, and I'm like, yesterday I saw a friend melt in front of me, and you did nothing to save him. And I just kind of like wait to see if anything happens.
There's a kind of an eerie silence. Normally, you can like hear the sounds of mining, but even those are kind of like slightly dampened. It's just unusually calm.
So I continue. I'm like, armies walk across this land, and you tell me nothing but to restore the balance. I cannot do this unless you give me some sort of directive. Like, how am I supposed to serve as your vessel if I can't even save the ones around me and instead have to watch them die? And again, I just like wait.
Do you feel a sense of burdenment and kind of fill you?
So I start kind of like, I guess, like pacing back and forth, and my voice gets louder, and I'm just like, you know what? You've done nothing but cause me harm my entire fucking life. People have died constantly around me, and once again, I repeat, I watched a friend die in the most horrific way in front of me, and you had no way of intervening, etc. I have no idea what the fuck I'm supposed to do as your vessel anymore. And I'm just kind of standing there, screaming at this giant statue.
Uh, you feel a great sense of disappointment and regret.
But not, it's still just silent in the room.
Yes.
I guess I kind of stop and I look up once, and Azrael's just kind of like, you know what? Fuck this. And I take my holy symbol and put it on the table in front of me. It says, I don't want this shit right now. And he walks out.
Okay.
And I make my way back to where my parents' house is.
Okay.
I get there and I guess they're like shocked to see me.
Yeah, they're a little surprised, would be one way to put it.
I kind of tell them why I'm here and what happened. I tell them of the past 20 years of my life and how everything that's happened and how I just need a day or two uh, of I guess what once was.
Okay. They listen to your stories and they're they're happy to see you and they're excited by the things you say. And do you tell them about what you just did?
No, I keep that to myself.
Okay.
And then I assume I just go to sleep
Okay. Yeah, you go to
after
sleep eventually.
like having uh, meal prepared and all that shit.
Okay.
Also, remember I'm at 1 HP, so I
You're
gotta.
at 1?
Yeah, because remember I shocked the thing.
Oh yeah, you shocked the dragon for like a shit ton of damage afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Azrael is at 1 HP.
Oh, and you can tell me if I can do this, but as we were the first day that we rested, I cast accelerated healing on myself. That was in the spell list I sent you, in the forest.
Right.
But that's totally backtracking.
Yeah, accelerated healing. Okay. Let me just read the spell.
Sure.
For 1 to 4 days. In other words, the person affected heals 2. Okay. Give me a D4 roll.
Oh, this is really nice. Nice penis, whoever drew that, Vincent.
I do what I can.
Yeah. 3.
All right. So for 3 days, you gain double HP. So you would be at 7 at the end of those 3 days.
Okay, and this, I guess this would be the last day if I cast it the next day in the forest. Or no, I'd still have 2 days left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do the next day, JP?
I wake up and I guess I just kind of go to work with my my parents and kind of do the family job.
Okay. Are we retiring your character?
No, this is just what I'm doing today
Okay. Well, how long do you do this?
for 2 days. At the end of that day, I end up going back to the temple because I told them I would meet them in 2 days in Atrilla.
Okay. You go back to the temple.
And I kind of do the same thing. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, are you going to finally fucking talk to me?
You hear and feel nothing.
Is my holy
He is
symbol still there?
You are a nihilist. You feel nothing.
Is the holy symbol still there that I put down?
No.
I assume there's like a head priest there, or a
Yeah.
head clergyman. I walk over to him and explain what happened, and I would assume he knows who I am and probably the person that taught me
Right.
growing up.
He shakes his head at you when you explain what happens and lets out a long sigh.
And I'm just kind of like, you taught me, you taught me everything I know. What am I to do?
Seems that living with the overworld people have ruined your fine temperament. You have the impatience of a human now.
I take a little offense to that because I think of Vincent when he says human, and I'm kind of like, the humans are a fine race. There's no need to insult them. I've learned that and many other things after leaving this cursed town.
Why would you say cursed?
Well, this very town was almost destroyed when I came into this world. Thus, it is cursed.
This very town, the destruction of the town was only a symbol of your forthcoming. You are a great tool for Quantarius, and to say this town, one of the most holy sites for our Lord, is cursed, I do not know how you could offend me more.
I respond by saying, a tool. I am nothing to Quantarius. He has not used me to do anything except to come into this world and destroy this town, destroy people around me. I do not understand the point.
The priest just slowly shakes his head. Azrael, you had so much hope and promise in you. How could you have forsaken your ways? How could you have lost sight of your goals?
I guess I like look down at the ground and I say, Quantarius didn't even give me the strength to stand my ground in front of friends, and the thought of running away and possibly having all of them killed was almost the course of action that I took.
Look first to yourself. It is not Quantarius' fault. You are weak.
I like religious Neal.
I'm definitely a little insulted by that, but I don't react to it by any physical means. I just kind of like, I guess, let out a long sigh, and I'm like, well, what now?
What now is you must seek forgiveness for your sins, for your abandonment, for your insolence.
I look at the priest and I'm like, forgiveness?
You told me moments ago that you came here and demanded, not requested, not prayed for, demanded action from Quantarius. Who are you
His
to
fucking
demand
vessel.
anything?
Is what I respond when he says, who are you?
He just like sighs and goes, "Ah. I knew you were too young to send out into the world. You should have stayed in training longer."
I kind of just wait to see if the priest says anything else and slowly like turn out of the temple and walk away.
Okay.
And I go to the lord of the town, whoever that is.
Okay,
You can make
The
up.
dwarf Thane. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. His name is Flint.
Okay. Did I know him at all growing up, or do I just know him by the fact he's the thing?
You've seen him around, but you and he do not have a personal relationship.
So I kind of walk into his throne room or whatever, or request an audience with him at the front of it.
Okay.
And I walk into the throne room. You said his name was Flint?
Yes.
I'm like, would I say Thane Flint? Is that how you would approach this?
My Thane.
Okay. Like, my Thane, have you heard of these armies to the south that march under a nameless banner?
I have not.
There
I have not
is,
concerned myself with the surface world in some time.
I believe
It's
it
not,
is.
their struggles are not our problems.
I say they might not be now, but this army does not know where to stop. And I have seen this army firsthand, and I have seen what potentially could be its leader. And I believe they will come here soon enough. I believe that, and by all means, you can tell me to shut the fuck up, as I am simply a commoner here in this city of yours. But I believe that the dwarves need to take action, or else this entire world will fall to this army.
The surface dwellers continue to bring these problems upon themselves, and they continue to deal with them on their own. The last time Great Evil was these humans and elves brought about Great Evil, they managed to clean it up on their own. For us to get involved would be pointless. The world is great, and we dwarves are just a small part of it. No evil can be so great as to sweep across the world as a whole.
I kind of let out alongside him like, my Thane, I have seen this army destroy great cities. I have spoke with the Elven King and been in his audience, and he is more fearful than anyone I have ever met for his people and for the world. I again ask you, please take action. And when I say that, I kind of unlatch or grab Crawlfort.
There is no action for us to take. I am not going to risk the lives of my people to go stop some problem that the elves and the humans have caused. It's their problem. They can fix it. And if somehow they all manage to fall to these armies, then we can deal with the armies when they are in their most weak state. There's no need for us to sacrifice so many over something like this. It is not our problem. You should be more like your family. Staying out of the affairs of these petty surface dwellers.
I look at or I kind of take out crawl fort.
There are
And
guards in the room, by the way, and they kind of move in a little bit closer when you do this. They put their hands on their weapons.
sure.
For imagery's sakes, Neil, is the entire city made of rooms that are like 5 feet tall and like little stools and little tables?
Yeah, mostly. Some of the rooms are very large. Just kind of like built to be epic and amazing and
It's
awe-inspiring.
like 10 feet tall then?
Some of them, but this like throne room is actually, the ceilings are 40 feet tall, and they got these giant marble pillars that hold them up, and it's very impressive architecture that just is over the top.
That makes the dwarves look even tinier.
No, because it's tall, but it's close together, so it just makes everything. It makes the temple feel the area feel grand.
Do they have a lollipop gang, or is that just the other?
The
that's
Lollipop
part of-
Gang has destroyed many towns in the north of Vincent.
Yeah, I didn't want to reveal JP's backstory, but he's actually the head of the Lollipop Band
That's
gang.
some
Secretly.
sick shit. That's some
Secretly.
sick shit.
Yeah.
All right, I won't metagame that.
Okay.
Continue.
So yeah, the guards kind of, I guess, come in a little bit, and I say, Thane Flint, this right here is one of 4 of the legendary weapons crafted in ages much older than... Well, actually, would he be around in that age, Neil?
Probably. Dwarves in this world can live to be 800 years old, so this guy could easily be 600 years old, and you would know he's actually 500 plus. At this
Sure.
point.
So I say...
Dwarves don't like to talk about it. It's just like fuck it. He's been around.
Yeah. I say that this right here is one of the legendary dragon weapons crafted far beyond or far before my time, perhaps more in your time. This is Crawlfort. Have you heard of it?
Thing strokes his beard slowly. I have heard of this legendary weapon. Even the tales of these have spread to the dwarven minds.
I respond with, these land dwellers have become my friends, and we have collected 3 of the 4 weapons. We have the spear, the sword, and this here hammer. The dragons have been awakened, and they march with this army, and are led by a cleric with great and immense power under what I believe to be the control of Verasi. This is not just a simple army.
Then, if you are so concerned about it, why don't you go fight it yourself?
I have
It sounds
been.
like you have this well underhand. Why do you insist on involving our people in something that is not our business and not our responsibility? If you have these weapons, then go and do it yourself.
I guess I'm just standing there and I'm just kind of like, okay. And I just walk out and I'm kind of just muttering to myself like, this fucking town, I should never came back. I'm glad I fucking left, etc., etc. As I walk out.
Okay. By the way, after you threw down your holy symbol, or put it on the altar,
Yeah.
had you try what spells had you memorized since then?
The spells I sent you, but I hadn't tried any of them.
You never rememorized more spells?
I mean, just the same. I guess I tried. Actually, no, I didn't memorize any spells. I was more worried about the family and whatnot.
Okay, so you have the spells minus the portal and the accelerated healing then.
Yes.
Okay, you haven't replaced them?
No.
Okay.
I was more concerned with like healing and whatnot. So,
Alright.
anyways, I make it back to the. I go back to my parents' house and kind of have a conversation with them and basically explain everything that's happened. The whole thing that happened at the temple, the fact I just went and talked to the Thane, etc., etc. And I guess I asked my father, like, what should I do in this particular situation?
Brother strokes his beard and kind of gives a little sigh. Says, "Well, son, every dwarf must make himself. You were supposed to be the chosen one. You've brought this town great luck and great fortune, and it pains me to see that you have abandoned the person who brought you into this very world.
I guess I'm like, I don't really say anything. I just let out a long sigh, as if I'm just kind of like contemplating the past 2 days and thinking about like Breger's death and whatnot.
Azrael, you are 152 years old. It's about time you stop crawling to your father to ask him for help. You're a grown man now. You must make these decisions for yourself.
I stand up, take a last bite of Mom's good home cooked meal, and say, "Fair enough, Father. I probably will never return to this town." And I walk out the door.
Oh, don't be that way, Azrael.
I walk out the
Come
door.
back, Azrael!
I go back to the temple, and I assume it's nighttime. This is the end of the second day or whatever.
Okay, well, you're underground, so it's all kind of...
Sure,
yeah.
sure.
Sure, it's nighttime.
Yeah. I go back into the temple. Are there still clergymen in it and whatnot?
Yeah, totally.
Well, I guess I walk up to the temple, and in my mind, I'm kind of just like talking to Quantarius, this time much less aggressive. I guess speaking to Quantarius much less aggressively, and I'm just like, I understand I was brought into this world. However, I have little direction. But if this is how this goes, I will simply continue forth with the party and continue forth in your name until you show me the best way to get rid of this problem. Nothing happens at all?
No response.
I go over to the head, after saying that, I get up, I go over to the head clergyman,
Okay.
and I'm like, it's time for me to leave. I've decided that I will still continue in the name of Quantarius, but on my own terms, and not on a mission from this town or anything else. Do you still have the holy symbol which I left the other night?
Was that yours? Yeah. They scrounge around and find it and give it back to you. And he does so kind of slowly and says, "You have much to atone for."
I say, don't we all? I get up and walk back to, I guess I get like an inn or something here in the town. Sleep for the night and try to memorize spells this night.
Okay, so you get an inn instead of going back to your parents' house?
Yes.
Okay.
Do I
Morning
memorize
comes
spells?
around, you cannot memorize new spells. All your
Okay.
spells that you try to memorize, they don't come to you.
I can still cast them though, right?
You can cast the spells that you have had memorized before. But
Okay.
You have not been able to memorize new ones.
I open up a portal to Atrilla then,
Okay.
and portal in.
All right. Meantime, back in Atrilla party, you are chilling around this table, kind of hanging out. What are you doing, the two of you?
Abigail's been
I have
drinking.
just discovered.
And then we should take a break.
Okay.
Really? You want to take
An
a
hour,
break?
11 minutes.
We don't have to take a break if you guys don't want to. It's up to you.
I don't have to.
Fuck it, let's not take a break.
Okay. So the rest
Neil's,
of the party, what are you doing?
Neil's actually the one we should ask the most because he uses those times to plan things out. Are you good to go, Neil?
We're good to go.
Yeah, I just
Alright.
totally took him on a random roller coaster ride,
Yeah,
so I'm sure he's good to go.
Let's keep cruising.
Okay, so Abigail's been drinking a lot and she's like super depressed and she's not being flirty at all. She looks at her half-dead ferret and she's like,
How is Tugwiggles doing?
Yeah, how's
by
the
way,
ferret
Neil?
doing?
she's like, God damn it, I'm gonna need a new one.
Oh my god! The way you talk about it.
She's like caring for her ferret, but she's not really happy. She's pretty sad. There's just us now, Vincent.
Yeah. Yes, it is. But
Is there?
actually, Neal, so this is the next day, right?
No, this is still that night that you got there.
All right. I kind of knock on the table and say, Abigail, I'm gonna look into some stuff, but we'll reconvene tomorrow morning, okay?
Okay.
So Neal, I'm gonna actually go through the town and I'm gonna look for a tattoo artist.
Okay. You find an old woman who lives on the edge of town who does tattoos.
I'm gonna roll for her past charisma real quick. So
Past
is that D20?
No, it would be 3d6.
3d6. 12. I like
Past charisma. Let's make this clear. This is an old woman. She
Damn it.
embodies the word hag in all the meanings except for the monstrous manual meaning hag. She is
I asked her
crone.
if she's good, if she'd like to make some good money and do some tattooing through the night.
You have come to the right place, my son. I have been gifted with the ability to draw the most wonderful tattoos ever.
All right.
I've trained through the years. Know all the customs.
Then
Tell me.
Neal, I ask her to compose the following tattoo. I get the name Tugabutt on my left hand, my shield arm, and then on my
Where
right
on-
arm. What's that?
Where on the arm?
Like the forearm.
It's like right across here.
Yeah, like cool. What would the lettering be called? I'm blanking on so many freaking words.
Calligraphy?
Yeah, like calligraphy.
Comic
but like-
Sans.
Look, all the way from like
Yeah.
elbow to wrist, just all the way.
No, just the whole forearm, like a big Tugabutt. And then on the right hand, or right forearm, it'll say Bregor, my weapon arm.
Okay.
And then I ask her to tattoo on my ass, Bannon. So that I can shit on him every single time I take a shit.
Okay. She'll do it. She says it will cost you 50 gold per tattoo.
That's super expensive, really? Are you sure, Neal?
Yeah, no, it's super
Not
fucking
to question your cost, but...
No. It's like outlandishly expensive. But she
All right.
insists she is the most skilled tattoo artist that there has been, and she, she says that her tattoos are, beyond the skill.
Plus,
of
she's
any-
probably a little bit upset that she has to tattoo a grown man who is going to spread ass cheek.
Oh, no, not my actual butthole, for God's sake. What do you think is that
around the butthole. Just
Yeah.
Are we talking like
Bad
tramp
bitch.
stamp, Jeff? Or are we talking like...
No, it's my ass cheeks, man.
Okay, cheek
It's
to
like
cheek.
Van Non on one cheek and Non on the other.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the tattoo I do through the night. And then
Yeah,
it goes.
it's like hell because tattoos back then were not nearly as scientific as they are now. I would assume it would hurt like a motherfucker, but
Yeah.
okay.
I drink a lot of apple juice beforehand.
Yeah, get yourself nice and liquored up.
Okay, so I do that, and then next day we can roll it in.
Okay. Abigail, while Vincent is doing this, what are you doing?
I'm just drinking at the bar, looking really sad. Do you know how far we are from the town with the apples? Like the town that sold apple juice?
Pretty far. It's all the way
I mean,
north.
a lot of towns sell apple juice, but are you talking about the one
Like
where
the super apple town.
there were two? I think there was
Appleton or
there was
something.
Appleton and there was Allender Falls. They both had exquisite apple juice.
Are we close to one of those?
No, you're nowhere near them.
Oh, never mind then. So I'll just look depressed.
Okay.
Is she still there when I come back from the tattooing?
Probably.
How long does it take to get? Would that take to get in terms of tattoos?
It's just lettering.
Yeah, do you have it like filled in, or is it just like...
Yeah, it's filled in black lettlettering, and
That would probably take a fucking while, especially if it's all the way on
Nah.
your arm.
Why don't we
Yeah.
ask the guy that has tattoos?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking you. And I was gonna then multiply the time by like 4 or 5, since it's not like a nice automatic gun now as it is
Really?
nowadays.
Oh, well, I would imagine it'd actually probably take less time back then. Like, all they would do is chisel ink into your body, like...
Okay, well, I don't really know much about tattooing processes. I figured we can do it faster now than we could back in the day.
No, they take more time now because they don't want to kill you. So back then they just shove ink under your skin.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not a tattoo historian, but that's
you
what
are
I
the
would
most
imagine.
tattoo expert person in the room, so I will.
I would say each one takes like 3 hours.
Okay, so
so-
that's 9 hours of tattooing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't get back there that night. You get back there the next day.
Are you still there, Abigail?
Well, hold on. Maybe not.
We'll see.
Now this is going to be delicate.
I like where this is going, Neil.
Does she get a tattoo on her ass?
No. So, Ryan, you are, doing your
Oh
thing.
shit.
Abigail, a Spaniard lover walks into the building.
With a rose in mouth.
Hola, chiquitas. My name is El Salvador.
Mamacita.
Ay, mommy.
Ryan, in the course of doing what you were talking about in your character description, you're talking to people for information and whatnot, and you happen to be in this bar, and you're asking questions, and the bartender points you over to this lonely, sad-looking, fairly drunk female elf, sitting at a bar or at a table by herself.